Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tero Pesonen and I'm the TCCA Vice Chair and CCBG Chair. It's my great honor once again with Peter Schmitt here, 3GPP CT Chair. We are in Göteborg, Gothenburg, Sweden, in 3GPP SA and CT working group meetings. But this gives us an opportunity to have a bit of a look back to the last CT plenary and a forward look towards the plenary, which will take place in September in Beijing. Wonderful to have you with me, Peter.
Thank you, Theo, for giving me the opportunity to have a talk with you here about the current status on the work in 3P in the CT area.
Excellent. So I'll hand over to you. Best of success.
So just some slides regarding the current status in 3P CT working groups. So take account that we didn't have any discussion after the last plenary. So let's have a current status. So we are here nearly at the end of the working group meetings in Gothenburg, and we are close to start our CT plenary next month in Beijing. So I'm just focusing here now on topics which are of interest in TCCA on a high level. So with the current, we are working on RIS-19 status. So at the last plenary, we had approved 7 new work items and study items. And in this week, in the different working groups, we have in total agreed 2 work items, or are expected to be agreed. One is still open because here we are still waiting for detailed requirements from the architecture group in SA1. And the intention is to complete all this work by next plenary. So, and these are in total, in the moment, it looks quite well. We will have some of the work items will not be totally completed, but these outstanding issues are not intended, do not be seen as a showstopper for RIS-19. And here just an overview of the work items we have approved at the last plenary. They can easily skip over. And the status after the last plenary regarding the work items in TCA area. So it was looking quite well at the last plenary. And in this meeting, we have made good progress on most of the topics. Up to now, I'm not aware that any of these issues which are listed with relationship to CCA get an exception sheet. At least up to now, I haven't seen anything on this in the different working groups. So everything looks like completed, but still you have some time in the Q4 to complete the work if you identify something, because Q4 2025 is expected to make a check if stage 2 and stage 3 are in line. And this will be then the task of the next 2 meetings, working group meetings in CT working groups. So we will have a meeting in October and 1 meeting in November. And the intention is here then to solve the last outstanding issues and to check if we have overlooked something, and also to check if in SA group something is agreed in this week, which we need to capture also in our stage 3 TSs. As said earlier, we will get some exception sheets. Up to now, I do not know exactly how much, but it will be around 10 in all the working groups, approximately. And as said earlier, there seems to be no showstopper to declare stage 3 freeze at the next plenary in CT number 109. Then everybody's talking about 6G. We also had some discussion on 6G at the last plenary. And here we had first a number of things what we have discussed. And one issue is also that we are discussing if we need to introduce a new tooling for 6G specifications. And to do so, we have started a study item which is ongoing. And this is a study item crossing all the TSGs, RAN, SA, and CT. And we have frequently telephone conferences to discuss these here. And this will be also part of a discussion at the next plenary, and expected to have as the next plenary a joint session, RAN, SA, CT. We will discuss the current status. And the final approval of these, the agreement on these documents which were discussed will be happened during SA plenary. Coming back to CT, so in CT we had agreed last time a document number CP 251297, giving some guidelines. And one is that we will not have a CT-wide SIT for 6G, we will have separated SITs. And the safety working groups, they will check and identify their issues they need to study based on 5G and based on the requirements from SA, which topics need to be studied in the stage, on the stage 3 level. And expected to start this discussion on SITs in Q4 2025. So this means in October this year. And in this meeting, in ongoing working group meetings, all the working group chairs have checked with their crew in their group if their current terms of references are still reflecting the current status. And all of them are updated. And we will see all of these terms of references, the proposed updates at the next plenary. One thing should be also mentioned at the IETF meeting in Madrid last month. There were a couple of companies who are active in 3P. They all triggered a discussion on an AI protocol. And there were a number of meetings during these IETF meetings to trigger the discussion in IETF for a baseline protocol, which could be adapted possibly by 3P during the work on 6G regarding to cover the AI requirements.
Thank you so much, Peter. There's quite a lot of things have been happening, and in a very, I hear a very positive tone. So thank you also for the entire community to do this work. Indeed, there's quite a lot of stuff happening. 6G is being formalized. In this particular meeting here, we from TCCA, we brought a liaison statement to highlight the need for device-to-device communication. Also during the 6G era, we have had very fruitful discussions on that. So I'm hopeful also for SA and other things in plenary, including RAN, that also this thing will move forward. What are your expectations then? Are there some pain points maybe to be expected in September?
In September, in the moment, I do not see any pain points. So only what might be a pain is to give some more details and some instructions for Q4. And I just came from a discussion with the CT working group chairs, where we had discussed some issues, what we should take into account for Q4 and give some guidance for a smooth running of the working group meetings in Q4.
Mm-hmm. And then how about then when we look to December plenary in Baltimore, what do you expect out of that?
This would be interesting, I would expect so, because it will be the freeze or the Open API freeze on stage 3 level. So we will do the code freeze. In the moment, I do not see any showstoppers there. But on the other hand, we will also have the first quarter where we intended to discuss 6G study items. And we should have to take into account that SA has also started in this, but up to now, they have agreed nothing. So the input for us is not the best starting point. So a lot of the assumptions will be done, and we will see how the different interpretation will be on these assumptions, and this will also take the case then how we can start the work in CT based on these open issues in SA.
So fundamentally, if things go really smoothly in September SA side, you would have a bunch of inputs. If not, it will be lots of mystery happening in December, which means please stay tuned. Come and join us again for subsequent updates from 3GPP work, from stage 3 and plenary. Thank you once again, Peter. Wonderful to have you with us, and yes, see you again.
Yeah, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I would like to remind you again, please have a look on the current status of the stage 3 specs, and if your requirements are reflected correctly. And if not, please join us at the next working group meetings. We'll be happy to get corrections from your side.
So pointers 3gpp.org for the specifications there, and tcca.info to be part of us. Thank you very much. Bye for now.